Hey guys, Alexander here, coming at you with a long-awaited video. This is my 120 ice gear guide. This is all the gear that I personally would recommend for your ice wizard. Now, it's not just gear for like stats and PvP, PvE, but for everything else. Energy, fishing, basically all the gear that I like to use. And I could give a list of all the jewels as well. So, let's get started with what I have on right now. Right now I have on my energy set. I have 269 energy. I believe the highest you can get in game is 270, but I need the cracked energy opal 5, which I would need to get from the jewel pack, and I don't want to gamble for that one extra point, although it'd be really satisfying too. I don't think it's worth it. So this is the Snowdrifters green set, of course. If you want, you can use the Green Warden set from the Wyvern pack. This is pretty much full on set from the Snowdrifters green set for energy. A theme, I use the Aphrodite theme with a energy jewel. That's pretty much all that matters. The circle and triangle doesn't matter. I use Amulet of Dragon Steam for the 4 extra energy, and then again Aphrodite ring with energy and energy jewel, and then I use a Dapper Corgi with the ultra energy opal. And then my deck, yes, I use a 5 energy opal on the deck. Moving on is my fishing set. So this is what I use for fishing. This one's really nice. I have 49% energy luck, or fishing luck. I wish I get that 1% extra, but oh well. So I use the Seafarer's Cloth Hat, Overcoat, and galoshes, or galoshes. I don't know how you pronounce it. You can get these from the vendor in front of the PvP arena. I think it's, I don't know, I forgot his name. I used the Swordfish Sword. I used the Aphrodite Winter Spine again, but this time this one has a fishing jewel. Now this one's a little funky. It has the outgoing. Before you guys want to kill me wasting outgoing jewels on this, this is sort of my utility theme for utility purposes, for like because of the blade and the healing. I used a random amulet, totally random amulet, but I slapped on the 5% fishing luck tier. Again, Aphrodite hard free seal with the 5%. Same pet, and of course a different deck with the 5%. You can easily get this jewel from the tier jewel plant. You can get the energy one as well, but it's 4. Now for the one that everybody wants to know. Here's my PvP set. Although I don't PvP anymore, I don't like PvP anymore. The community is just, I would say 90% toxic. I don't like it. So, but I know some of you guys still PvP. I'm not the best ice PvPer out there. I'm sure there are much more better people than me out there. But this is just something I prefer to use. So, Crocotopia Blizzard Fez. This one you can actually make a debate between the two. You could use Bone Smasher's Robe of Cold for the extra damage, resist, health. But you can also use Armor of the Cold Hearted for extra accuracy. And then for boots, of course, Shoes of the Cold Hearted. You can switch it up. I like to use the Time Warden Snowdrift Galesh because I like the extra damage. Now for the wand. This is where things get really weird. You can do whatever you want really. I like the Snowdrifter staff. It looks appealing. Stats are decent. But of course, you want to go the normal route. You can always use the Fortune Teller's Eternal Gaze. And then I use a Wolf Lancet of Shivers. I put a 3% Shadow Jewel Hematite on it. Because why not? Extra Shadow Pip chance. You can do whatever, but the main recommendation would be tier, would be maximum health possible, armor piercing, circles, and triangle is totally up to you. Most people use accuracy. Amulet, I use the Duelist Virtuoso Talisman. Of course, there's always alternatives. The biggest one I can say that's the best would be Orlov's Ice Sheet Charm. You can get that from the Rat. If you don't have that, want some extra stats, of course you can go with, everybody knows this, my personal favorite, Gem of the Grand Prophecy. And with Ring, you can't go wrong with Duelist Daredevil Ring. Again, the square is totally up to you. I like the stun resist. You can put a reduction on if you want. That's fine. And as for your pet, pet's totally up to you. I have so many variety of pets. Spectre Lord with triple damage to resist, double damage, double resist, fairy, tower shield, make house Balefrost. The choice is up to you really, but one thing that a lot of people could use is quad damage, double resist. Now, okay, this pet was an accident. I didn't want it to get Ice Ward, but one thing is I hate ward pets. They're scummy, they're dumb, in my opinion. It's all about damage. I understand Ice is a defensive class, but we have enough defense, and now we can go offensive. And then for your mount, as weird as it sounds, I would recommend using the Clockwork Courser for the extra armor piercing. If you think you got enough piercing, go with the Battle Narwhal. You can fish for the Battle Narwhal at the Polarian house. The Polarian Shipwreck. But the Corsair, you have to buy the bundle. And then for the deck, I use Tetra's Deck of Sleet, which is dropped by the final boss of Mirage. And then I slapped on an accuracy jewel on that one. And now for a PvE setup. Pretty much most of it's the same thing. But I like to use the Time Warden Snowdrift Galesh more than Shoes of the Cold-Hearted. The 25% ice damage, you can't go wrong with that. The wand, I use Tarek's Legendary Frost Tome, quote-unquote legendary. I don't think they're that great, but it's 15 ice damage. There's a bunch of different types of wands you could use. Anything's up to you with wands. Anything's up to you. It's all up to you. Again, Fortune Teller, you can use that. A Thame, I like to use, again, Wolf's Lancet of Shivers, or Shadow Spider Sting, the 1% extra ice damage. Put on some damage increasers. I put Pip Chance on it, because extra Pip Chance, why not? Amulet, again, you can't go wrong with Gem of the Grand Prophecy. If you guys really don't have that amulet though, I know Morgantha is a pain to farm, trust me. You can always go for Last Wood Defender's Jewel, which is dropped by a number of bosses, Chrysalis, or you can just buy Shango's Ice Blade amulet. Just have an extra Ice Blade, helps a lot. Then I use Band of the Chilling Light for the 12% damage. Again, the pet is all up to you. The choice is yours. I like having extra Maycast. I like that little RNG factor. Battle Narwhal, definitely for the extra damage. And I use Rasputin's Cards of Numbing, which is dropped by the Rat. And I slapped on an Epic Enchant card, Jewel. Just dropped by Most of the major bosses of Mirage. I like to use this deck because it gives me more copies of other school spells compared to the Tetris Prison one, which only gives 4 copies. I don't know why our copies are getting smaller. And then stats are pretty good too, overall stats. This one's kind of low. So accuracy is kind of low, so I would probably swap that out with, say, maybe an accuracy, a theme. I don't have one. Let's just say a deck. Say Lithium's Eternal deck. There we go. Maximum accuracy. Block is okay. I don't really care if a mob crits on me. Because, well, I have 8400 health. I don't care if they crit on me. And then pip chance is pretty good. So again, I use that a theme to get that extra 10%. But I removed it, I think. No, I removed the jewel for it. So I would have 99% instead of 89. Let's go back to the PvP set. I forgot to show the stats of that one. It's not too bad. 60 resist across the board, 26 accuracy, 100 ice damage, 25% block chance. Crit's okay. 37% armor piercing, 94% power pips. Pip conversion is really high. I like it. I like pip conversion. It can add a lot of strategy. And then, of course, the big one for me is the ice attack set. This is full-on glass cannon ice. We're breaking the rule books here. So, Time Warden Snowdrift Havoc, dropped by the first 3 bosses of Mirage. I would recommend farming Bort. It's the easiest. He drops it. All 3 bosses. I don't know why people farm Shadow Walk. They all drop the same thing. There's no such thing. There might be a conspiracy where, oh, maybe Shadow Walk is most likely going to drop your stuff, but I'm pretty darn sure they're all the same. It's just Bort's easier. Robe, Royal Fusiliers, or Fusiliers, whatever you want to say. Dress coat, 26 universal damage. You can't go wrong. Don't have it, that's fine. Just use Bone Smashers, Rope Cold. Boots, Time Warden, Snowdrift Gala. So basically the full Time Warden set. Tarek's Legendary Frost Tome gives me the most damage. Shadow Spire Sting, again, most damage. I like to use Torque of the Ravenous Teeth for the 2% extra ice damage. This is dropped by the chest, the Stone Key chest in... what is it called? It's like the dungeon before House of Scales. Not House of Scales, but the dungeon before House of Scales. The chest, and there drops the Samuel. Band of the Chilling Light. I like to use a quad damage ice pet. I'm trying to get a quintuple or hextuple damage pet. I don't even know if hextuple is possible. I don't think it's possible. Is hextuple possible? Actually, Ice Spoon. No, I think only quintuple is for now. I might be wrong. I haven't been on this game in a while. I think only quintuple. And then Bow Narwhal. And then your deck. It's up to you. Bam. 144 ice damage. Can't go wrong with that. My health is still decent. My resist is okay. But it doesn't matter. Your ice. You can tank it. You got a ton of health. But, yeah. That's basically all my gear. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. The wiki. The Wizard101 wiki is your best friend. If you don't know where any of these items are dropped, just use the wiki. What else is there? Oh yeah, jewels. These are supposed to say shiny health opal. They still haven't fixed it in test. It's bothering me so much. 115 jewels. You can buy them from the jewel vendor, the PvP jewel vendor. They're really cheap. Just do attorney. Just what I like to do is I just go into attorney and Hail Mary attorney. Like, I don't care. It's 22,000 gold. I can just sell a bunch of treasure cards and Hail Mary it. Like, the lowest they'll get is probably like 500 tickets, which is fine. That's still a lot. You got 2 jewels right there, and you only have like 4 pieces of gear that uses, or no, like 3 that use tiers. Circles, of course, you can get the polished piercing sapphire from farming chrysalis bosses, opening the ice jewel pack. Again, triangle is totally up to you. Erratic Icewind Opal is pretty nice. Random 10% damage aura. It's dropped by the rat. Again, ice jewel pack. Lustrous Accurate Sapphire. It's dropped all over Polaris. It's really easy to find in Mirage too. Square, I like the Resilient jewels the most because it's an extra stat that you can rarely normally get. Stun resist. I love it a lot. And then as for your pet jewels, you know, Ice Boon, Ice Giver, Ice Dealer, the usual stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat. I'm sorry this video took so long. I've been working a lot. I just worked 6 days in a row. But today I had a day off, so finally got this video through. Thank you all for watching, and I think Test Room will come out next week, so I'll probably make something there. Maybe something about Castle Magic. But other than that, thank you, and goodbye.